Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fissner from Inte.Team. Guys, I thought I'll start to record few videos because I need to convince my apprentices, okay, to start learning in a different way. Till now I was just giving them general knowledge and whatever came on our desk, like a PS5 or, you know, or headphones, Beats, or like gamepads or something, doesn't matter, yes, but whatever came and was quite simple enough so that they can grasp practice, that's fine. But this theory unfortunately hit me in a way that I didn't anticipate it. So the business is growing. We've got over 300 5-star rated reviews. We've got commercial contracts, we've got people from commercial or industrial even businesses coming to us to fix some electronics, which is good. Yes, great, awesome. But we need to start to use our dojo, the training center. And before I can introduce someone to those courses in dojo.inte.team, which we don't have front page yet, but it's already created by one of our team of web developers, with the exams, with everything. I want to give general idea of modularity in electronics, how I see it, like, this is just the power supply, yes, but what are the sections in power supply? Then as well, different electronics, even this, yes, that's a gun charger. So if you don't have those basics, it's difficult then to start your journey because you're guessing things, yes. So let's switch to my desktop, okay, electronics lab, that's the one, and let's go and switch scene to this. What do you see? Oh, you see, great. Okay, so I can minimize it. Okay, and now what you see is something that I'm currently working on. Here is a list of, like, a source of components, yes, everything. Different ones, yes, different various types, which is okay. Then here is like a most used, what I've used, the last time or something, and doesn't matter, that's export, import, who cares? You can zoom in, zoom out, yes. So what we care about is the main socket. As you see in the main socket, we get live, neutral, and earth, which is ground. Do we always need a ground? That's a question, yes. So yes and no, okay. If you do everything properly and you will never make a single mistake, by all means you don't need an earth. Plus there are certain cases like noise, because signal is not only signal, but there is something called noise, so I won't explain it further. That's enough to understand at this stage. Now then you've got power supply units, which I showed you from PS5 just a minute ago, yes. Now the power supply unit, like the one from PlayStation 5 I've showed you, have this live, neutral, and earth, let's say, or in case of power supply for PS5 you don't have this earth, yes, you've got only live and neutral, and then it outputs 12 volts and 0, yes. So we've got positive and negative. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time, red represents like plus voltage, yes, and like a positive, yes. And it's not always, so we shouldn't take for granted. Now buck converters, yes. So buck converter takes those 12 volts and take it down to here, for instance, 5 volts, yes. And here, for instance, it's 3.3 volts, and can both come simultaneously from those 12 volts and give us those smaller voltages to supply voltage to different power rails, yes, to whatever we want to do with them. So for instance, Arduino Nano, you see, is requiring 5 volts, so I had to set it up here on 5 volts, yes. But ESP32, for instance, I've seen 3.3. So when I created this connection, I had to type here, yes, 3.3 volts to have supplied. Because otherwise, if I would supply the 12 volts, well, that would be over voltage, and we don't have over voltage protection. Yes, so we shouldn't do it. Now, there are a few things, okay? Here, when you connect to the power supply, it will have most of the time filters, and those filters are for AC, analog, yes, side, and DC, digital side, yes, direct current or digital current, yes. Now what is happening is the filters are built in. The more you pay for the power supply, the more quality you should expect from it. But sometimes we take the power supply up to the oscilloscope and we see the noises anyway, yes. So you buy pure sine inverter and then you check it and then you see, oopsie daisy, there are noises, yes. So sometimes you might be missold on the concept of good quality devices until you just start to measure them. Same with buck converters, yes. So buck converter just literally has a MOSFET which is driven by PWM, for instance, because there are other types as well, but it's PWM, so pulse width modulation controller, which can drive that MOSFET, which can open and close in a certain way that from 12 volts will be 5 volts. And you've got not only frequency, so how often this transistor will be open and closed, but as well timing. So the break in between one wave to open and close, you know, this to the second one, yes? So you've got this timing as well. So usually you've got capacitor and resistor, yes, if it's not variable and you cannot set up by potentiometer and by screwdriver or something. Or, believe or not, you can use that ESP32, for instance, and you can make it so the digital line, for instance, will be able to control that output voltage from the buck converter, yes? So then I don't want to go further into those. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how I see electronics. Yes, I see electronics as modules. Now when you take that power supply for PS5 and when you open it, it's dangerous because the capacitors can hold over 380 volts, believe it or not. So when you touch it, and even if it's off from the mains, and you might be saying, oh, that's discharged, better take the meter, put it into DC or AC depending where you check it. Check. It's the last thing you want is regrets, yes, because believe me, that's shocking. And if you watch Down Periscope, the very, very old movie, like I'm talking decades, then you will know what I mean, yes? But you don't want to experience it, okay? So we want to understand those circuitries this way as modules, because then later when you see faulty device, you can divide in your head as those modules, and then you can understand which module you could potentially replace with which other module. So to not make video too long, let's give it 1 more minute. And let's not cut it because, of course, stuff was missing. So this is a boost converter. We've spoken about it and I've used it, and I use it in my solar panel to boost to 21 volts from battery, which is 12 volt. So solar panel has MPPT controller. You can read why MPPT controller, not just PWM controller. That's a maximum point tracking type of controller, which give you more energy from that solar panel to the battery. and then those 12 volts I had to use to increase with this type of boost converter to 21 volts, because then PD controller on the USB-C outputs was needing up to 20 volts. So if I would set up only on those 12 volts, the PD controller would be capable only to give up to those 12 volts, but would never reach the 20 volts. There are something called buck boost converters, but this is more complex and I don't want to cover it for, in this video, yes? Then those are the chargers, the wall chargers, socket chargers. And the last module I want to show you is this module. This module, for instance, this is least useful for you, but if you want to have a fun project, then that's something useful. Why it's so? Because here you've got USB-C, which works as a media player, so you can literally put pen drive with the U-Disc, I think it's called. You put pen drive with your music, yes, or you can go to PIOTRFX-topic and you can have music from me, and if you are a member at Inte.Team, you can even have these in WAV files, and you can ask me to provide you with copies of those files of my music, and there's about 50 of those songs in membership. And then here you've got TF card or small micro SD card, yes, socket. Now what is happening is then it's a chip which can read it, yes, from those sockets, and then you've got micro USB-C, which is 5 volts, or you can solder, there are joints to solder it. Then you've got volume up, volume down, next song, previous, and stop or pause, something like that. And then you've got jack, 3.5mm jack here, and you've got speaker output. So now, for instance, when you fix hi-fi, you can use this small module as portable thing to test your hi-fi, as I did test Yamaha today when it was like in a fixed state. Thanks to that, you don't risk a lot, and you can use any USB pretty much, or replace it with USB-C if you like, or add additional here thing, and then have it even portable with 1 or 2 batteries, yes? So these type of modules are really useful if you know how to use them and how to swap faulty module in your faulty electronics with existing modules which you can buy on AliExpress for cheap. So we will talk more about those modules, but it's already over that minute, so I thought I will close the video, yes? Guys, if you did leave me a like, thank you for that, a like to you for that as well. Hope you learned something, and thank you from Inte.Team for watching this video. Bye bye.